Everyone, welcome to Module 1 of DSROI 2020. I'm really happy to welcome you to this institute as the co-faculty for Module 1. My name is Niluka Gunawardana. I am a woman with disabilities from Sri Lanka, and I'm joined by Mildred Omino from Kenya. Both Mildred and I are actually alumni of the institute. I was actually part of the very first DSROI Institute back in 2010, and the institute has come a long way since then, and I feel really honored to be able to teach on this particular 2020 institute along with a group of very dynamic and charismatic teachers. In terms of this year's cohort, we have 70 people participating from all over the world, which makes it really interesting. And I'm looking forward to the dynamic conversations and discussions that we can have as such a global group of participants. In Module 1, we are basically going to look at the fundamentals of disability, sexuality, and rights. And just talking to you through this video, I remember my own kind of exploration of disability, sexuality, and rights that actually started with my participation in DSROI. Before I go any further, I really want to recognize Janet Price. DSROI really is her brainchild, and following the institute and also having great mentorship relationships with people like Janet has really helped me grow as an individual and an activist over the years. And I really hope that a lot of you will also have a similarly transformative experience and make some good lifelong connections and friendships. So as I mentioned earlier, Module 1 is about laying the groundwork. It's about mapping out the key issues in this field, the key ideas in this field, and just giving you a taste of a lot of the concepts that will be developed and fleshed out during the course of the institute. For example, we'll be looking at the concept of normal. We speak about normal people, normal behaviors or characteristics as if it is self-evident or factual or true. But in this institute, we will really critically think what is normal and what kind of processes, what kind of relations of power determine what we feel is normal. So how does, for example, racism, sexism, heteropatriarchy determine what we think is normal? Then we'll look at how these ideas of normal and abnormal determine the way we value people. Why are some bodies, in a sense, more important than other bodies? What are the mechanisms underlying that kind of valuation of bodies? We will look at how that kind of view of people and diverse groups leads to stigma and discrimination and oppression. And then we will really look at the whole issue of disability sexuality, how this kind of othering of persons with disabilities leads to their invisibilization, leads to their erasure from society through institutionalization and other guardianship arrangements. We will look at how norms around disability and sexuality lead to stereotypes when it comes to disability sexuality. So in most cases, disabled people being thought of as asexual or hypersexual, or in guardianship arrangements where they cannot express their sexuality and sexual identity. We will also look at disability sexuality as something that is, potentially subversive and disruptive and can really change the way all of us, as a global community, think about, independence, supported sexuality, what it means to be intimate. So there's a lot that is coming your way this week and over the next couple of weeks through the Institute. So in terms of the structure of the Institute, we have a couple of key elements. So one is the readings, then you will have a PowerPoint. The PowerPoint really is kind of the base where we capture the key concepts related to the theme of the week. So for week 1 being introduction to basic concepts around disability, sexuality, and Right. The PowerPoint will have links, prompts that connect different slides to particular readings. It will also have prompts to some videos, the links of which will provide, sorry, in the module outline, so that you can kind of connect what you're learning by going through the PowerPoints with the rest of the course material. I would highly recommend you not to just do the PowerPoint, like to read it in one sitting. That's not what it's like created for. Rather, if you can, it's divided into 6 parts. So if you can sit with, 2 to 3 parts per sitting and then slowly digest it, it's a far more sensible and manageable way of approaching the content in the PowerPoints. We are also trying to offer you some live sessions so that we can really kind of go through those concepts in person and clarify any doubts that you might have in a group setting. So the readings, we have some compulsory readings, suggested readings, and additional readings. So the readings, kind of in terms of length and difficulty, they vary quite a lot, and that the reason for that is that the group that we have this year for DSROI 2020 is very diverse. Some of you are just tipping your toes in the water, and some others are already in the deep end. So if for some reason some of the readings are difficult, don't get alarmed or scared or kind of let that put you off. Feel free to reach out, ask questions in the group so that even other people who might have similar questions will benefit from it. And then we'll also be able to engage in a dialogue and tap into your own inner knowledge, wisdom, so that we can kind of create a community of co-teachers and co-learners, which really is kind of one of the objectives of this process. There will be a radical action element, which is about applying these concepts to activism in the community. And then there's also a variable component. And this year we'll be looking at the disability sexuality impacts of COVID-19 in that variable component. Mildred will be going through those two concepts in detail with you. So again, a big warm welcome to you all. I am really looking forward to getting to know all of you in the coming weeks. At any point during the Institute, please feel free to reach out to me, Mildred, or the DSROI CREA team. The CREA team does an incredible amount of behind the scenes work, and I really appreciate that as well. And I hope that all of us together, the faculty, teaching assistants, and the CREA team can kind of give you a really nice, transformative, and inspiring experience over the next few weeks. So thank you, and see you at the live session.